let's round out the top stories in the world of science with CTV science and tech expert Dan Riskin.
Morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Okay, let's talk about this. In sports, a concussion increases the risk of further injuries by as much as 50%. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm. It is a lot. And this is a study coming out of Australia looking at people who play Aussie rules football, which is honestly one of the most violent sports you can imagine. So plenty of concussions in that sport, like hockey, like football, like a lot of the sports that we play here in North America. And, you know, it's intuitive that if you get a leg injury or if you get an arm injury, you might get a subsequent injury because your body can't work as well as it did before. What this study shows is that if you're recovering from a concussion, your risk of getting another injury is just as high as if you had an injury to your lower body or upper body. So it really drives home the point that when a concussion occurs, you've really got to take it easy, even though it's invisible. Those are very real injuries and can have repercussions down the road.
I totally get that. Got a concussion in rugby and then hurt my shoulder the exact same time. That happens.
Wow.
Okay, people who got outside for an average of 1.5 daylight hours per day are at the lowest risk of depression. It's free.
Yeah, this is a funny study because on the one hand, it's intuitive and it makes sense. And on the other hand, there's a weird quirk to it. So this is data from the UK. More than 380,000 people involved. They asked them how much time they spend outside on average in the winter and in the summer, and then looked at them over 12 years to see the likelihood that they came down with anxiety or depression symptoms. And what they found is if you're not going outside very much, you're more likely to get depression. Okay, that makes sense. If you spend an hour and a half outside on average, you're less likely to get depression. Great, that makes sense. But the weird piece is that if you're spending more time outside than an hour and a half, you're at an increased risk of depression, which is completely counterintuitive. You would think with sunshine, the more the merrier, but they've got this quirky result and they still haven't been able to figure out exactly what it is.
Wow, interesting that there's like this definitive time frame for that. Okay, staying with kind of mental health, Dan, cutting your social media to 30 minutes per day reduces anxiety, depression, and loneliness.
Yeah, this is a really nice study out of a college in the States where they took a bunch of undergrads, about 230 of them. Half of them, they said, just keep using your phone the way you already use it. And half of them, they said, please try to limit your social media use to half an hour a day. So whatever your poison is, TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or whatever it is, Facebook, try to cut that down to 30 minutes a day. They did not check to make sure that these students did do that. They just asked the students to try. And then they looked to see what the effect of asking them was. And lo and behold, all of those things you mentioned, anxiety, depression, fear of missing out, all of these factors improved just by making an effort to cut down social media. So, I mean, we all know that it's a guilty pleasure, but this is a nice data set because it shows that even if you're just making an attempt to cut down, it's going to have a positive impact on your life.
That's true. I know a lot of people who cut out Instagram or whatever it is, and they do feel better. That FOMO is strong.
It is strong.
So powerful.
And then the comparison and the imposter syndrome. But I love that they give you like, hey, just cut it down to 30 minutes a day, set a timer, do what you will with it. You know, it's kind of like, try to cut out your sugar and carbs.
Yep. That's what it's
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
But it's not cold turkey. They're not saying get rid of it altogether. They're just saying try to cut it down and monitor it and be aware of.
Yeah, great guideline. Okay, Dan Riskin, always a pleasure. Our resident science and tech expert. We'll chat with you next Monday. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
It is time for Take Me Home Tuesdays, a segment that offers a great opportunity for animal lovers to help find a fluffy and furry friend, their forever home. Here with me is the OSPCA's Shelby Harmathy, and you have Tice, the Dutch rabbit. So explain to me a little bit about how you know he's a Dutch rabbit and just the benefits of having a rabbit in your life.
Yeah, so this little guy was sadly found outside, so we didn't find his family, but he is a super sweet, affectionate little guy. He's already litter box trained, so he's super smart. He's also been neutered. He's ready for adoption, so he's here in the spotlight hoping to find his forever home. If you're interested in adopting Tice, you can check out ontariospca.ca/York Region and arrange a meet and greet appointment.
And really quickly, I know sometimes people think of cats and dogs as the traditional pets in a home, but bunnies can also make really great pets. What's a reason why someone should bring Tice into their home?
Absolutely. So bunnies are often harder to adopt at our location, and we can understand why, because they make great companions, especially for someone who is looking for a smaller animal in their home. They actually are a crepuscular species, meaning they're most active at dawn and dusk. So that's fantastic for those of us who are, work a 9-to-5 job.
There you go.
And that way you've got time to hang out with them in the morning. They snooze away the afternoon, and then when you get home, they're ready to watch Netflix with you.
I love that. And something also really important this week is Veterinary Appreciation Week. I know I have a pet. My vet is very important to me. But talk to me about kind of what that means for the vets in our lives and how we can show them some love.
Absolutely. So the Ontario SPCA and Humane Society invites everyone to nominate their animal's favorite vet clinic in its Veterinary Appreciation Contest, which is running until June 30th. And I mean, this is a great way to just let our vet professionals know how much we appreciate their hard work, keeping our furry friends happy and healthy.
I love that so much. And I want to kind of share with everybody a quick update. So we had Wilson on the show last week. He joined us, and we have some exciting news, guys. After the take-home service, or after the Take Me Home, we have some really great news. And thank you so much to Wendy for sharing this picture. He was adopted. Check it out. He found his forever home. I love this. Now that we've got a home for Wilson, he's found his forever home, guys. We know that you're watching at home. We appreciate you guys always tuning in. Now it's time for Tice to get a little bit of love.
Yep, and to make your nomination, go to vetappreciation.ca.
Shelby, thank you so much.
Thanks
Tice,
for having
good luck.
us.
You've been a great guest.
Can't believe that night I didn't call you back. Being a bigger person is something that I lack.
Toronto rapper Raxx has just released her latest album and single, The Smell of Smoke. Very fitting for today. It's a song she hopes could be a catalyst in tackling the rise of violence and crimes in our city.
All right, so let's welcome Raxx to CP24 Breakfast. Raxx, good to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's good to talk to you about this album, and it's interesting because I listened to the lyrics. It sounds very personal.
Yeah.
How personal is it? How deeply connected are you to this?
I mean, music is a big therapy for me. I use it like as an outlet, and I tell stories through my music, and I think it's really important to do that. So yeah, in the last 2 years, I kind of went through some things and put that into my music.
Yeah. And Raxx, what has the journey been like for you? I mean, you say that you grew up, being inspired by Drake, Lil' Kim, and things like that. But did you always know you wanted to go into this space of like hip hop and rap, or was there ever kind of a transition for you, like a period of growth?
That's a great question. I think that my whole life I've always been like into music, into the arts and everything. It really took me until I was about 28 to really like find my voice and get that confidence to release my music out into the wild because it's very personal to me, right? But it's been an amazing tool for therapy and, like releasing my feelings, so.
And Raxx, it's interesting because sometimes rap gets the bad rap, as it were, for promoting violence, for promoting the sort of the gang sort of stereotypes, as it were here. What you're trying to do with your music, though, is stop it and work against it. How do you find you can do that in your music, and how do you counter the narrative that's so associated in many cases with rap in particular?
I think that there's so much talent in Toronto and so much music that isn't, targeting that kind of audience. And it's really bringing light on what we have to offer in the city, like Canadian Music Week and North by Northeast.
Yeah.
I think that Toronto needs more things like that to showcase the music, right?
And let's go back to your latest single. It's called The Smell of Smoke. Obviously, you're not referring to wildfire smoke.
No.
But what is smoke in this scenario?
People can take that metaphor all different kinds of ways. The smell of smoke is, before the fire, or it's after the fire, and it's things you go through in the past and then things that are about to happen in your life. And that's kind of the metaphor for it, and people can kind of take it how they want.
How long did this album take you to put together? Because you've been writing music for a while.
I have, yeah. I've been doing music professionally for about 6-7 years now. This album, over the course of writing it, production, about a year and a half. time frame.
Okay, and have people ever told you that, like, I was just listening to some of your tracks on your Instagram page, and your voice at certain points, it reminds me of Pink.
I've heard that, yeah, and with this album, I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more and do more vocal kind of things. Post Malone was a big inspiration, Drake, obviously. And just to showcase that rap doesn't need to be one category, and it can be different, you know, different things. And I think that I'm offering something different to the music scene, and I'm really excited.
Okay, so you've dropped the album. What can we expect next from you, Raxx, here? Because some of our viewers may say, I've never heard of you, but now they know who you are. Where are you going to be? Where can we find you?
Well, hopefully I'm selling out that Rogers Center, or Scotiabank Arena. I have a lot of festivals coming up. Probably a couple more singles are going to be dropping this year, but we're focusing on shooting videos for every song on the album and just, you know, growing every day.
And you just came back from the UK shooting a video there.
Did, yeah,
so
One More Time was amazing.
It's not just different area codes, it's different country codes for you as well.
I also was in LA for Grammy weekend in February, which was an amazing experience, hoping to go back. And yeah, just getting out there, spreading the word.
Raxx, great to meet you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us on CP24. Good luck with the smell of smoke.
Thank you very much. Tune in.
Indeed, take care. We've got to get to our headlines right now.
Thought you meant the words you said, but also said them to her. You can laugh now, but you're gonna cry later. You can laugh now, but you're gonna cry later. Said you fight the fight for me, but you were such a traitor.
Well, nothing says summer like the sizzling sound and smell of barbecue meat. Toronto's largest Ribfest is back for another mouth-watering event and help us celebrate Canada Day long weekend. But also there, I've got Jimmy Longlegs with me this morning, as well as Charlie right here. They will be at the Toronto Ribfest in Etobicoke at Centennial Park this weekend, running from tomorrow until Monday. But let's get to this delicious, mouth-watering food right now. I am joined by the president of Ontario Festival Group, Rick Brooks, who's taken over the event and has renamed it Toronto's largest Ribfest, as well as the pitmaster and owner of Camp 31, Bernie Girl.
Hey.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us with all this yummy food. Nick's having a field day, but so can our viewers if they come to the Ribfest, right, Rick?
Absolutely. Good morning, guys. We're so excited to bring Ribfest back to Centennial Park this Canada Day weekend. We have so much in store for you guys. Performers all weekend. We've got 10 international rib teams, festival food trucks. We have live music all weekend. We have a fireworks show by the city being put on Canada Day. And we're just so excited after 4 years to bring this show back to Etobicoke and to the city of Toronto. Everybody loves Ribfest, and it's just so nice to bring everybody back together.
Yeah, and Rick, you know, this is really exciting because your group, Ontario Festival Group, has taken over this year, and you're also having a Ribfest competition. What's that about?
Well, that's the fun part. All the rib teams, they get together and they just compete against each other, just like the World Series. This is the World Series of barbecue here. You're going to get the best of the best when it comes to barbecue. We give out awards on the end of the weekend, and we make it a show.
We're competitors, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Bernie, I know that you're an American from Alabama. That's where Camp 31 originated. And even though you've been cooking at this festival since 2000, 23 years ago, Camp 31 has a very rich history. It actually started in 1908 as a general sawmill store, but then rebranded as a rib store in 1985, right?
Yeah, Camp 31 is where you used to go to the camp to pick up all your supplies, your beer, and we smoked ribs there as well. So the first international, I guess our fire department decided they were going to have a rib fest, and we went there and we sold out by noon. So we realized there was a market for selling. This is way back.
Wow.
When we brought it to Canada, people didn't know what pulled pork was. We had to give away pulled pork because they didn't understand what pulled pork. Now it's on every menu out there, right? So we brought pulled pork to Canada. That's our claim to fame.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, Nick is having a field day.
Are you liking that?
Oh my gosh.
What else do you want me to cut up?
Well, this is one of the ones just came off the grill.
Yeah, they're good.
What's the trick? What's the secret, really?
The secret is the 3 layers: the rub, the smoke, what kind of wood you use, and we use a fruit wood, and then obviously the temperature, low and slow, fall off the bone.
Like I was gonna say, this bone is picked clean, and I didn't have to work at that. I mean, that's just, I mean, I'm working on this, but this is just spectacular.
And then you can layer it with the sauce. The sauce is the grill here is just to make it stick at the end and get it all over your face and make you all messy.
I mean, I'm trying to
there's 7 flavors. We come up with 7 flavors, and depending on where we compete, that's the flavor that we use, right? So, like a Jack Daniel's, a barbecue, we'll use something with bourbon in it. But here in Canada, it's our original Blue Label. It's sweet and tangy, and it goes over well. That's what you're having today.
Yeah.
This is just a sampling of your hardware. How many awards have you won over the years?
We throw these away after. We've got so many awards.
Really? Wow.
No way.
We've got probably over 500, maybe up to 1,000 by now.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Our trophies don't travel very well, so these are the best we have right now, but we have them all over all our rigs and in our restaurants, and every year we're probably, gaining another 30 or 40, so here we are.
I feel kind of rude talking with my mouth. I'll let Jen pick it
Am I
up.
allowed to get some of that cornbread?
do you
I
want me
love
to-
carbs.
You're gonna-
So if I
you
could
go.
just, I'll eat some of that, and
look
then
at
I'll
that.
go for some of the pulled
Do you want
pork.
to dip
Thank
it in
you.
some barbecue sauce?
Sure.
Well, come on around here.
Yeah, thank you
give it
so
a good
much.
go.
Is that what you do? You just dip it in
you
this?
just dip in
Okay.
and have a.
Oh my, this is a big cornbread
This is
too.
the best.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, we're all
He's
coming
going to dip it
around.
once, though.
Even the camera guy's coming around for a
I can't
go.
watch this and not do some dip.
Watch
Can
that
I just
too.
use my hands and dip this? Okay. Oh, this
Johnny
is delicious.
Longlegs is back again.
Yeah, he might be dipping too soon.
And so he's going to be at the festival all weekend
Yeah,
long
we got
too,
some
right?
buskers, great entertainment,
Yeah.
and obviously the.
Yeah, so
us,
Jimmy
the
Longlegs
rippers.
will be there all weekend long at Canada Day. He's one of our featured buskers.
Wow.
And Charlie's going to be singing "Oh Canada."
Okay.
And tell us about, that's chicken on the front of the barbecue, right?
Yeah, that's chicken.
Yeah, those are
So
massive,
half chicken.
massive
So at
chunks.
the Ribfest, you can get brisket, pulled pork, beef ribs, pork ribs, sausage, pork loin, pork chop on a stick. We're doing all the meats.
Wow.
So if you don't like meat,
This is
we
not
have
the place
we
for
have
you.
cornbread,
This-
beans, and coleslaw.
This
That's our
sauce is
vegetarian
amazing.
option.
This is your signature sauce,
That's
though,
our
right?
signature blue ribbon sauce.
It's delicious.
Grandmother sauce,
Oh,
never
oh.
changed for 35 years.
Wow.
Right on. Okay. Beautiful stuff.
CP24 award, because you're doing the Lord's work here. That's great.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, we got to take a break here.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Enjoy
Appreciate it.
Ribfest.
Thank you.
Happy Canada Day. Ribfest.
Tomorrow,
Happy Canada Day, indeed.
Etobicoke
There's the money
Centennial
shot
Park.
right there.
Oh,
The
wow.
money shot.
Gorgeous. Wow.
This is delicious.
I like trees and flowers and bees because they like to please my 5 senses. His 5 senses. Well, I smell pretty flowers and feel spring showers, and I can listen to birds for hours and hours, or watch Niagara Falls give us our power, or taste the berries on a mountain taller than the CN Tower. All these wonderful things have something in common for sure. You say it's 'cause they're pure, I say yes, but what's that special word? Has to do with plants and animals, earth, wind and water. You must have figured out the word by now for sure. It's nature. I love nature. I love nature for sure. 'Cause it's pure.
All right, they love nature, we love nature. Thank you to the Fuddles for that performance just now. And they are one of just dozens of acts and activities taking place tomorrow at Ontario Place for Canada Day. And best of all the programming's free.
And there are plenty of programs indeed. So joining us now for a look at what's in store is Alok Sharma. He's the Senior Manager, Product and Experience of Development at Ontario Place, as well as the yoga instructor for tomorrow, Luciana Santaguida. She's joining us live with her yoga mat. Maybe we'll get to some stretches if we have time. Alok, let's talk to you about this. A free day of programming. The activities start at 9 o'clock in the morning or 9:30 and go all the way until the evening.
Until the evening, yeah,
Yeah, so
correct.
highlight, what are some of the key performances aside from, the Fuddles and Luciana?
Yeah, what's really exciting is it's also the launch of our summer series in Trillium Park, which is going to be 8 weekends throughout the summer at Trillium Park. And specifically for Canada Day, we have amazing Indigenous programming. We have a couple of DJs, DJ Mel Boogie, DJ Shane. We also have some, at night in the evening, some great soul funk bands. One called You Request Live, where you can actually do live requests of songs that you want them to play.
Nice.
And then they'll play it on the spot.
Yeah.
And then we're ending off the evening with Soul Motivators, which is a fabulous homegrown soul funk band.
I love the idea of just
Very
an all
cool.
request band, because the ability of a band to know every song that could be potentially be requested is pretty remarkable, look. So that's really sounds really cool.
It's gonna be very
Luciana,
cool.
let's get into the yoga side of things with you, because of course, on a Canada Day long weekend, you want to relax, you want to stretch. What can people expect from the yoga programming?
So tomorrow we have 2 classes we're offering, an adult class at 9 a.m. It's a special class of an hour and a half where we'll have a live musician, we'll be incorporating some meditation, some pranayama breath work, and I'll be offering a sound healing shavasana. So it's quite a special class. And then we're offering a kids class at 10:30 for an hour, focused in the age groups around 7 to 11 years of age. And it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay, so what is there a capacity limit for this, or is it first come, first serve? Like, how many people are you expecting to just show up and do yoga?
It's first come, first serve,
Okay.
but it's capped at roughly about 200.
Whoa.
It's a big class.
That's a huge class. Have you done big classes like that before, though?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, every year we run our yoga program at Ontario
I
Place,
see.
and the field is always full with people excited to practice. So it's a beautiful space. If you've never been, it's probably the most beautiful space in Toronto to practice outdoors.
So people have to bring their yoga mat.
Yes, bring
For
your own
kids and
mat,
adults,
bring your own water, sun protection, all of that.
And look, what would you recommend to people, coming down to Ontario Place in terms of either A, getting there, B, the parking situation? What are some tips to sort of help make that trip as sort of stress-free as possible beyond a yoga class?
I would say take the TTC, walk or bike. There is parking on site, but there's a lot of activities happening at Ontario Place, so it fills up fairly quickly. So that's the best way of getting there is really transportation, take the go, and you get off at exhibition, and then you're there.
Chopper 24 is flying above it right now, giving us a shot of Ontario Place, and I'm sure there's a busy hive of people down there right now getting things prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, and look, because there's a full day of programming. You've got Indigenous performances and other things like that. Let's say you want to make it a whole day event.
Yeah.
Can people bring food? Are there going to be food vendors nearby?
Yeah, so there'll be food vendors there as well for sale. Both food and beverage, and there'll be a lot of family-friendly activities as well. So like face painting, henna, photo booth, as well as tattoo airbrushing. And it's all free.
Awesome.
All free. Okay,
All
that
free.
is remarkable. Well, Luciana, look, thanks both of you for being here today. Sounds really exciting. Have a great Canada Day. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
And let's send it back over to the Fuddles right now as they take us to break. We'll be back also with a new poll shedding light on how Canadians are feeling ahead of July 1st.
1, 2, 3, 4. My best friend is a clown, a perfect friend when you're feeling down. Funny, fearless and free, full of silliness to make you happy. Ba 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 da 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 da.